this dog. His name was Doggy Boy, and my parents, until this dog that they have now, have never been able to, and I don't mean just them, we as a family have never been able to care for a dog properly as far as give it attention and take it for walks and be consistent. So this dog stayed in the backyard a lot, and he stayed tied up on, in the shade with plenty of, leeway. At one point, though, he was untied, and I took the trash out, and this is when my little brother and sister were still in diapers, and he tore this, it was the diaper trash, and he tore diapers all over the yard. And of course I had to clean it up, and when diapers get wet, and they're like this jelly, spongy, weird stuff, and I got mad, and I just kicked him with my right foot, and he just moved a few feet, and he didn't yelp or anything, but he ran away, and I never saw him again after that. And I mean, that's probably an anger issue, I guess. But
well, one time kicking a dog is not an anger issue.
It changed my world as far as animal treatment goes, because I've never seen him since. And I need to apologize for that to him. I know it sounds weird, in my relationship with animals, it's kind of like they're like people too, they have souls.
What you need to do is you need to apologize to Travis. But you just refuse.
Yeah, I can't help you anymore if you're not gonna help yourself.
You asked me prior.
I really can't. I can't, Jodi. You can keep talking till you're blue in the face, and I can't continue to listen to lies. Do you have anything else that you need to tell me?
Yeah, you would ask me what have I been up to in the weeks since I got back.
Mm-hmm.
What did you mean by that?
Just what have you been up to? Because I know this thing has to be weighing pretty heavy on you.
I've been trying to put his death behind me. If I did anything that had anything to do with his death in any way,
It's not if to me.
I wouldn't.
It's not if. It's not if at all.
Well, to me it is. I would be more than remorseful.
Is it maybe something you're blocking out of your head?
I don't think so. I mean, I tend to write everything down. I just finished the book, The Road Less Traveled,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, the true definition of sanity is dedication to reality at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think at times, I may have, prayed or meditated upon a certain way, like me being wealthy or something like that, but
Well, this is definitely reality. We are sitting here inside of an office, the sheriff's department, and you are facing first-degree murder charges.
what is the
And
difference?
you are going to be booked into jail, and eventually you will be brought back to Arizona, and you will stand trial. That's the reality. And once you realize that, I think you'll be better for it. And if you really wanted to embrace reality, you would sit here and explain to me why this happened. But you refuse. You refuse to embrace reality.
I don't know why he was killed. I don't know why. I had issues with Travis. If anything, he had more issues with me. I've had worse issues with other people. They're all still alive. I'm still friends with my ex-boyfriends. They're all still alive.
I've been doing this a long time. And there's one thing that I can never get out of my head, ever since the first day I talked to you, is there's an old saying that, someone's just not acting right. Look into it. You have not acted right from day one. From day one when I talked to you on that phone, I just sensed that you weren't acting like somebody who used to love this guy, or who still loved him. Even as a close friend. And even now, when I told you that I have all this evidence against you and that you're facing first-degree murder charges, you're just not acting right, Jodi. You're acting like somebody who's guilty.
How so?
You tell me. I know because I've been It's
It's
taken
not
me a
that I
long
don't-
time to figure it out. But within the first 30 seconds to a minute of a conversation, I know when somebody's acting right. There's a certain way people act.
How did I act
Okay,
that would
it's
make
not
you
like-
think?
It's not like TV, it's not anything like that, it's not what you see in the movies. I see reality. When I accuse somebody of committing a heinous crime or, something very serious, reality hits in and they definitely act a certain way. And that's not you. You act just like everybody else who I accuse of doing a crime, who did it. And there's no other way to tell you.
Is it because I'm not crying?
No. It's not because of that.
What is it? I mean, I'm not going to change how I act.
No,
so
obviously
it's
you can't
not-
change the way you're
No,
acting.
I mean, I am who I am.
Okay,
but-
you're sincere in the way you're acting. But
Well, how is it?
you're just not telling the truth.
How is it different?
Well, it's not really something you need to focus on anymore. I think you need to focus on the truth, but it's something that you refuse. So if you don't want to continue, then we'll just move on to the next step.
Listen, it's not that I didn't love Travis, and it's not that I don't still love him, but I really needed to move on,
Mm-hmm.
and the last,
What prevented you from moving on? Nobody was preventing you from moving on.
well, the only person preventing me really from moving on was myself.
Mhm.
And until I made that step and I moved back, I moved away, and we communicated gradually less and less and less, and I was fine with that. I haven't found the guy, the man that I want to marry, the person I want to spend my life with. But in my mind, Travis did, and I was happy for him, and I thought there was also a part of me that felt, if I stay, I'm going to jeopardize that for him as well. We both deserve to be happy. We both deserve to have, be married in the temple.
Mhm.
And that's where he wanted to go. So, I mean, I didn't know that Mimi didn't feel that way. I had never spoken to her except at church when I came down to Arizona. I was really brief. And it was the bishop who told me that, she had essentially turned him down. And the last few, now that I think about it, he was really just in his attitude and stuff. And I just thought maybe that's just because we're just beginning to more distance ourselves. And he still had his trip planned to come up here. The reason I don't know. It's not that I'm not remorseful that he died. I didn't kill him. I didn't take his life.
Did you have anything to do with it?
I have
It's not
nothing
good
to do with his death at all. At all. The reason I hesitate is because maybe this is something that's wrong with me psychologically, is I think of the butterfly effect. And it's like, you could say that the guy pumping gas down at the gas station could have potentially, because you see all these movies, these funky movies where it's like this affected this, which affected this, which affected this,
Well,
if he had never done this.
I know if you had never met him, he'd probably still be alive.
That's true.
Yeah, but that's because you killed him.
No.
Jodi, you did.
I did not.
Jodi, you can't convince me otherwise, unless you come up with more proof that you didn't. But I can't prove that
Could it-
anybody else did. No, it couldn't have.
Well, what about if the car comes back that it was never even in that area?
It still doesn't negate the fact that we have this other evidence. I mean, this is absolutely some of the best evidence I've ever had in a case. And I've convicted a few people on less than this.
Well, so I'm as good as done, right? With that evidence.
Yeah.
I just can't admit to something that I didn't do. If it would help my case and give me an easier sentence, I know that people plead guilty for those things.
No, and I don't want you to do that. That is the absolute last thing I want.
Well, I know.
What I want to do is I want to sit here with you, and I want to go over why you visited him that day, what you guys talked about, what caused you to get so angry, and the details on how it happened. And it's something that you probably don't want to remember, but it's something that I need, because for me to finish a case completely, I need to know not just the details, but what was going through your mind, because I need to present that as a full picture, because if I don't feel that I've completed my job. Then my job is to speak for him, not anybody else. My job isn't to speak for you. My job isn't to speak for his family. It's to speak for Travis. And I know something horrible happened that day. Absolutely horrible. Something that could have been avoided. Whether something was planned, I don't know. Whether you planned it or whether it accidentally happened or something got out of hand, I don't know. All I can do is speculate. And I want to believe that you're not this cold-hearted person that could just go out and do something like this to somebody. I want to believe that, like a lot of people, things got out of control, and before you knew it, it was too late. That's what I want to believe. And that's truly from my heart. Because I sit here and I've talked to you, and I'm talking to you now, and all those conversations we had on the phone, and I don't see a cold-hearted murderer like you would see on TV or that I've seen before sit across from me. That's not what I see in you. And I'm gonna call it begging. I'm begging you to at least come clean and tell me why. Because I don't want to leave here today not knowing, because it's gonna follow me forever.
I wish that I had answers. I'm sorry.
You need to just let the answers come out.
There's just no reason. There's just no reason.
There's no good reason why this happened. There's never a good reason why somebody dies like this.
How many times was Travis stabbed?
More than I want to remember. And I'm not going to sit here and show you pictures of him after the fact. I don't do that. That's not how I work. That is not for me to do. But eventually those photos will come out. Jodi. Jodi, we're here now. We're right here. I think you're feeling the reality in the moment now.
No, I'm just feeling all of the things that I'm going to potentially miss out on with my family, and I think of all the things that Travis's family is going to miss out on with Travis. And he had brothers and sisters, and I have brothers and sisters. And it's not fair.
It's not fair, but this is where we are.
I mean, I know that he's in a good place, and I know that he's